What's up, y'all? Let's go ahead and dive in and talk about Kevin Nash and Logan Paul. Now, I understand after listening to Kevin Nash and 5 minutes of him mumbling, this is the first issue before we even cut loose, is the mumbling. I'm. It'd be nice if he would open his mouth and talk, and I wouldn't have to go find a transcript and put captions on his videos. But essentially, how this all started is him and his podcast partner were discussing Logan Paul and all of these things. And also in that 5 minute clip, they're talking about what Triple H sees in Cody Rhodes. And if you listen to that part, it kind of ties into why there's some ire towards Logan Paul and if he's one of the boys, okay? So what Kevin Nash said, and I quote, and I'm not going to do an impression because then you're not going to understand nothing I said. So he said, and I quote, he's not one of the boys. Where would he learn that shit at? Where he's fucking going up and down the road, fucking talking about our fucking jargon in the building. You don't become one of the boys just because you're around them. That motherfucker, from what I heard, is making like $5 million for a limited fucking, and those other motherfuckers are out there making house shows. Fuck you. I don't give a fuck how many people are following you. So if we break that down, you can see where Kevin Nash is annoyed. So with some critical thinking, here it says that motherfucker, from what I heard, is making $5 million for a limited fucking for appearances. In Kevin Nash days, they had to do fucking 800 days out of 365 days for $50 apparently. They had to go up and down the road and, fuck trailer rats and shit because the wives and the kids was at the house, and then when they got back home, the wives and the kids was working their nerves. They had to beat the wives and the kids. They had drug issues. They didn't get to do anything they want to do because these guys were trying to make money. This is why Kevin Nash, when he finally was making money in WCW and had his hand in creative, he didn't give a fuck because he was finally making some money, even though it was, toward the tail end of his career. And then now you got these fucking influencers showing up in a very protected, very small bubble that is pro wrestling, coming in here making 6, 7, 8 figures. And it took this guy how long to get to it? So I can see where Kevin Nash is like, you fucking kidding me? So I think he's talking about where Hulk Hogan seemed to have an issue with Logan Paul as well. Okay, so Hulk Hogan was sitting there looking like he looked and was explaining to Logan Paul that most of wrestling is a shoot when it comes to making money. And Hulk Hogan gave him an example. He said an example is, if I wrestle you and you make $1 million and I make $5 million, is that a work or a shoot? Now, I probably would sit there confused as well. And I would say that's some bullshit, because why are you getting paid more than me? But I'm assuming that the answer, because he didn't answer, because Hulk Hogan was like, you going to answer? And Logan Paul was like, okay, well, I'm not really sure, like, what are you saying to me? Like, I know, like, what a work is, but I'm not really sure what a shoot is. And Hulk Hogan's like, are you fucking serious? Like, you don't know? And then Logan Paul's co-host is like, oh, no, he doesn't know. And Logan was like, no, don't say nothing. Like, don't. Because Hulk Hogan was looking at him like, what the like, am I being punked or something? Like, he was really looking like it was an issue. And then the guy tried to, fix things up and say, well, just explain work and shoot to the audience. And he tapped Logan Paul's leg like, okay, I got you. But Hulk Hogan looking around like, why the fuck am I here if this guy doesn't know what I'm talking about? And this is where I think we can kind of bring Kevin Nash into the conversation when he says he's not one of the boys. And where would he learn that shit at? Where's he fucking going up and down the road fucking talking about our fucking jargon? So I don't go up and down the road with wrestlers, but in order for me to kind of talk about pro wrestling, I had to do some research. And over the years, I figured out what things were. And a shoot is when somebody's really doing something, and a work is when it's fake. So I don't know how Logan Paul was supposed to answer the question if he's being paid $1 million and Hulk Hogan's being paid $5 million hypothetically, and they're wrestling each other. Is it a work or a shoot? Maybe you can answer that question, because I don't know how to answer that question. I guess it would be a shoot because Hulk Hogan would be considered the marquee wrestler, right? And Logan Paul is a little bit under him. I don't know. How would you answer that question anyway? So with all that being said, this is where Kevin Nash was like, fuck that. So as they were talking about what Triple H sees in Cody Rhodes, it came up again. Cody already has been seasoned in the business. For Cody's pushing 40. He's already been in WWE. These guys seem super old. I'm talking about Cody Rhodes and all of them, because we watch them every week or whatever. You know, he was Stardust. He was, in the business a long time. But Kevin Nash feels like Cody put the work in. Cody is a good hand. Cody is a man that you could ask him something and he's going to do it. And so Triple H sees himself in Cody, which I don't believe. But I think after this whole bloodline stuff finally wraps up at some point, Cody Rhodes is going to be stripped down to his socks and put in the mid-card scene. But whatever, we'll talk about that another day. So now we get the response from the wrestling community. I understood what Kevin Nash said. I also don't like Logan Paul. I think he is a very awful man with no morals. And he's working for a company that supposedly has, changed and have morals and values. And Logan Paul is embroiled in all kind of lawsuits. He has all of those infamous ass behaviors when he was trying to get on. And no, Hulk Hogan, he is not going to knock Mike Tyson out. Are you fucking kidding? If he knocked Mike Tyson out, I don't even know what I would even say. I don't even think Mike Tyson should even be having a podcast and talking about nothing else if he let Logan Paul knock him out. Anyway, so this is Logan response to Kevin Nash, and he said, I got people messaging me. They're like, Kevin Nash is talking shit about you. And I said, damn, who's Kevin Nash? I mean that. Like, I'm unfamiliar with this guy, which I think is a problem that makes you pathetic. This will be my sport, and I will continue to make guys like you eat your words when I devote a little bit of my time to it. Fuck me, fuck you. So this is what Logan Paul said. Then Vince Russo had to come in, and he agreed with Logan Paul and said that he is one of the top 5 stars in WWE. And apparently, whoever made that poster for SmackDown agrees, because Logan Paul is right there on the fucking poster. And I wonder how people in the back feel about that. I guarantee you, if this was Kevin Nash decade, early 2000s, 90s, and they put out a new poster for WCW or wherever Kevin Nash was, and the Arquette guy, what was his name? Y'all know what I'm talking about, the one who won the title, WCW. If Arquette was put on the main advertisement with all of the other boys, how would they respond to that? I don't think they would take that lightly. But you're not supposed to really step on toes or whatever. I don't think part-timers should be on the poster. But that's just me. So anyway, Vince Russo said, well, Coach, when he's on that video saying I'm the top 5 of the rest of WWE, he's telling the truth. There's no question about it, bro. He is the top 5. What does that say about the rest of WWE? You got guys down in NXT for years. This freaking guy walks in the ring like he's been there his whole life. What does that say about the process in WWE? Come on, you got to take a look at that, bro. I don't know if you saw this, but ESPN came out with the top 65 most influential people in wrestling. Logan Paul was number 5. That's not what the ESPN came out with. And I know, because I actually did a podcast that I didn't release, Yet Logan Paul was number 13. So I don't know why people are like not fact checking. Anyway, these guys aren't fact checking. On the list, Logan Paul's 13, and it's not just wrestling; it's MMA and wrestling and another sport. He's not even in the top 10. So I don't know why they're pushing this, and this is the type of shit I'm talking about that grinds my gears, bro. Motherfuckers get on this space and be running their fucking mouth, and they don't even fact check nothing. Vince Russo just saw a clip from Dave Meltzer, who posted the top 5 ESPN, and it's not even accurate. It's not accurate. Anyway, to wrap this up, because that just annoyed the fuck out of me. I'm gonna have to. Anyway, so he went on to say, "Oh, he's terrible in the ring. It has nothing to do with that. He's influential with his 24 million followers and whatever it is. He's influential on how wrestling is taken today and how superstars approach their careers. That's influence. Logan Paul's a social media personality." So we're gonna wrap this up. I actually understand what Kevin Nash was saying. I don't see no value in Logan Paul. Don't get me wrong. The thing about Logan Paul that he does have is athleticism, but his in-ring persona and his promo skills are just as mediocre as everybody else. There you go. That's my take. This is a nothing burger. Y'all tell me what y'all think in the comments if you made this far.